All right, so good morning, students. So today we will meet again and discuss again with the public economy in terms of the role of the government in this redistribution. I just want you remember. I just want to remind you the about the last week discussion about the role of the government in the economy. So basically, I already read about your answer about your discussion about what what the economic system that implemented in Indonesia. Most of you most of you say that Pancasila is the economic system in Indonesia that apply today. But then, what is the Pancasila means, or what is the economic Pancasila? Because um, I just want to remind you the role of the government in economy is a government have intervention in the economy is inevitable because there are certain roles and responsibilities that cannot be assumed by the private sector. So, a government is supposed to guide and direct the pace of its country's economic activity. So, that's the point. And it is also supposed to ensure that growth is steady, employment is high levels, and there is a price stability. But then, in some cases, like today, we faced about the COVID-19 pandemic, and then we got unemployment high level, and also we got the price non-stable. That's also the role of the government to make it how to make the economic system or the economic stability in our country, even in other country. Additionally, a government should adjust the tax rates and spending. So uh, that's the point that today we want to discuss about the redistribution, because this mean refers to the tax rates and also the spending, so that it is able to speed up or slow down the economic growth rate. So basically, like a resource allocation, the economic management of natural resource. If there are certain limited source that need to be divided among individuals or project, this is where resource allocation come into play. And the government role in influencing the distribution of income among the population through the power of taxations and expenditure. So the government can affect income distribution within the country, because the government is essentially a self-financed enterprise. It has to rely to tax to be able to provide the service. So that's um, why the government have the role to redistribution. So here it is, the definition of the distribution first. So income distribution is one of the central issues in the discussion of the role of the state in economy. And this makes sense because it has to do with justice. Income inequality causes by unequal distribution of income is often used as tool to challenge the position of the government, which in turn will create social insecurities. So that's why I think that the government role of the distribution is very important. Like, once people have produced goods, those goods need to be distributed for consumption. This guide through several principles like redistribution that we mentioned or that we discussed today, and reciprocity, and also the market. These principles are not mutually exclusive and all may be found within the same society. The market the market principle is based on the practice of goods bought and sold using money. So the profit is a key motivating principle. Value is theoretically based on demand and supply. So remember that about economic condition is about the demand and also the supply. But supply can be artificially manipulated to the value and therefore increase profit margin. So um, there are there are several. I mean, there are several priority of the government to distribute of the uh, income and also the wealth. So we will try to discuss it more in next slide. So what about the revenue distribution size? According to the World Bank, if 16% or more of national income is enjoyed by the poorest 20% of the population, the income distribution is said to be very good or relatively good. According to the Gini coefficients, the income distribution is good if the value is below 0.3 and it is said to be bad if the value is above 0.5. So after this, I hope you can check about the Gini coefficients and also about the poorest population. Is Indonesia or is other country, maybe model country like America, it is how about the population, how much the poorest population and then how much the Gini coefficients that country have. So that's mean you can say very good or relatively good, or you can say bad or good based on 2 points of this indicators. So actually, redistribution of income and also wealth is the transfer income and wealth, including physical property, from some individuals to others, mean of a social mechanism such as taxation, charity, welfare, public services, land reform, monetary policies, confiscation, divorce, or tort law. The term typically refers to redistribution on an economy-wide basis rather than between selected individuals. All right, so what about the role of the government in redistribution? So first, one of the important role of the government is the activity to redistribute income or transfer income. So it's mean that like redistribution tax policy should not be confused with redistribution policies. So it means that redistribution policies or the redistribution is that idea that state should try to prevent inequalities occurring in first place rather than the true tax and benefit system once they have occurred. For example, is a government redistribution policy might require employers to pay all employees a living wage, not just a minimum wage, as a bottom-up response to widespread income inequalities or high poverty rate. Second one, this provides a correction to the existing income distribution in the community, and there are two analytical aspects of the public sector, which are first, a normative approach that focuses on what the government should do. Second one, a positive approach that focus on describing and explaining what the government is doing and its consequences. That's 2 point is related with economy, is related with the distribution, and it's related with the wealth and also the income. How many income that government got from distribution, like I mentioned before, tax, and then maybe land form, and then so and so forth. And what the government should do, and what the government is doing, and its consequences of the economic in this term is redistribution. And there are vertical redistribution is the activity of transferring money from well-off people to financially disadvantaged people. And horizontal redistribution is the transfer of money between groups, for example, from adults to children. This redistribution is life cycle. So maybe this is the type. This There are two type of redistribution. First is vertical redistribution and also the horizontal redistribution. So in this picture, we can see that there are step of income redistribution. Like in the first picture, we see that membeli barang mini market or buy something in a supermarket, and also they have to pay the tax, and after that the tax is to distribute, um, for example, in subsidy for the like education, or maybe like for the ticket, transportation, and so forth. So all of the cycle of economic system in our country or other country, that seem like everyone wants to build or wants to land the for example building for the supermarket, or maybe for the education, or maybe for the other business, and they should pay the tax. And then the tax, the key is that the tax will distribute to the community in the form of maybe a transportation ticket, or maybe education area, and so forth. So that's we call it subsidy from the government. All right, so how views on distribution are formed. The context that a person is in can influence their views or redistributive policies. For example, like despite both of being Western civilization, typical Americans and Europeans do not have the same views of redistribution policies. So this phenomenon persists even among people who would benefit most from redistribution policies, as poor Americans tend to favor distributive policy less than equally poor Europeans. So it means that the research saw this is because when a society has fundamental belief that those who work hard will earn reward from their work, the society will favor lower distributive policies. However, when a society as a whole believes that some combination of outside factors, such as luck or corruption, can contribute to determining one's wealth, those in the society will tend to favor higher redistributive policies. This leads for this I mean like this leads to fundamentally different ideas of what is just or fair in these countries and influence their overall views on redistribution. Or another context that can influence one's ideas of redistributive policy is the social class that one is born into. It means that people to tend favor distributive policy that will help the group that they are a member of. This is displayed in study of Latin America lawmakers, where it is shown that lawmakers born into a lower social class tend to favor more distributive policies than their counterparts born into a higher social class. So research also has found that women generally support the redistribution more than men do. So the strengths of this preference varies across countries. So I mean like a different country maybe or like different um, state like European, like American, and like Asian, they have different different type of redistribution as I mentioned before. And the redistribution is about the efficiency and equality. So there are 3 points here: efficiency, distribution, and social choice. This means that there is a trade-off between equity and efficiency, and indifference curve for individuals illustrate how they make trade-off between goods different. The social satisfaction curve illustrates how society makes trade-off between the satisfaction level of different individuals. The social welfare function provides a basis for ranking multiple allocation and resource, and we select the allocation that produce the highest level of public welfare. Also, the Pareto principles say we should choose an allocation that at least some individuals get better off and not one gets worse off. This means that if someone individuals, their satisfaction increases and no one decreases, their satisfaction social welfare increases. So it's meant that it's all about the welfare. It's about the how distribution can make efficiency and equality, like the social satisfaction, how society make trade-off between the satisfaction levels of different individuals, and also like social choice, like Pareto says, or Pareto principle says that we should choose an allocation that at least some individuals get better off and not one get worse off. And analyzing social choice and social in practice. If the project is not Pareto improvement, the general approach used is to efficiency and equity effect. A project is a project that has positive net benefits and reduce inequality. Then the project is execute and vice versa. That's the that's the principle. And if the efficiency show a profit but a lot of evenness is lost, then there is a general trade-off of the tax system policies for income and redistribution. So the standard way that can be done to measure the benefits of several programs or projects, especially individual, is the form of willingness to pay. What kind of the payment? That's the tax. Because social benefits are measured by the additional benefit received by all individuals. The amount earned representative to the total WTP for all individuals in society. So, I mean, like most government transfer are not from the rich to the poor, but government takes from the relatively unorganized and give to the relative organized, such as the group politically organized around common interests, such as the elderly, sugar farmers, and steel produce. The most important factor in determining the pattern of redistribution appears to be political influence, not poverty. So, how economic effect of inequity? Because we also talking about the inequality. So, like for example, a report in 2011 by International Monetary Fund say that strong association between lower levels of inequality and sustained periods of economic growth. Developing countries with high inequality have success in initiating growth at high rates for a few years, but longer growth spells are robustly associated with more equality in the income distribution. So actually, how about the redistribution program for income equalization in Indonesia? First, the government tries to guarantee access to primary needs for the poor people, like for example, home. Yeah, you know that the primary needs like home and then food, like what the human needs, what the primary human needs. The government try to guarantee that and then try to guarantee that poor people will get the primary needs. The second program is carried out by the government is the soft credit program. It means that the the soft credit or the soft loan programs aims to lend capital to the small business so that they can develop. The government make it easy by giving low interest rates to business actor. Actually, this one is used for small medium enterprise or UMKM if we call it in Indonesia. The soft credits program is known in the community as People's Business Credit. In the future, it is hoped that there will be more forms of business from people which in the end can absorb the labor. And the last one, the third program carried by the government in its effort for economic equality is the development of small industries. This program is known as the National Program of Rural Community Empowerment. Yeah, this one is very common in every rural community. And the existence of the National Program of Rural Community Empowerment is to expect it to accelerate income distribution, poverty reduction, and expansion of job opportunities in rural area. As we know that many people just give the, you know, underestimate with the rural areas. So all people, maybe like 90 people just move on or make the urbanization in a city. So that's why this program is tried to give the opportunity job in especially rural areas. So we both know that there are not as many job opportunities in the village as in big city. So don't be surprised if the big cities are getting denser, bushier, and as a result, traffic jams everywhere. So that The existence of the National Program for Rural Community Empowerment is expected to reduce the density in the city. That's one. I think this one is good for people in the rural area because government tried to empower the rural community to stay in rural area. I mean, like to stay in the village, don't move out, go to the city because like if you just go to the city and you don't have any skills, you don't have any knowledge, it will be you know, not easy to get the better opportunities job in the city. So that's program, or this program just focus on the rural area or the village to make the opportunity for the job. So once again, that the poor of the world cannot be made rich by the redistribution of wealth, because yeah, I just mentioned before that like most government transfer are not from rich to the poor, but government takes from relatively unorganized to, I mean, like for example, general taxpayers, and give to the relatively organized, like elderly, sugar farmer, and so on and so forth. So the most important factor in determining a pattern of redistribution appears to be political influence, not poverty. So one more thing about the redistribution. So like this one. Redistribution refer to the movement of goods or services to and from a central authority. So you see in the first explanation, I give it to you, like what is the distribution, what is the redistribution. So once again, redistribution refer to the movement of goods or services to and from a central authority. So the authority may be a single individual, for example, a chief, or a group of people, for example, the government, and so on and so forth. So the central authority may not be interested in accumulating wealth of themselves, but use the distribution of goods and services to create interdependence among the parties involved. So, like the big man of Highland Papua New Guinea redistributes goods they have accumulated to create and maintain alliances and an area where conflict with other groups occur relatively frequently. In industrial societies, the progressive income taxes are an example of redistribution. So again, tax is the key for the redistribution. Tax are tax are located from individuals dependent on their personal income, and then that money is distributed to other members of society through various government programs like charitable donation function similarly, or a subsidy, and so on and so forth. So that's the basically of the redistribution. May you got the several beneficial for this explanation. And yeah, again, if you still have any question, just come to me. You can text me, or you can text in the group, or you just comment in this video. And yeah, we will have the discussion about this topic. We will have the discussion about the redistribution, how the role of the government, or maybe I think we can know how about the policy of a country to make the redistribution, such as like I already mentioned about the Indonesia government, how the government of Indonesia tried to make the program for income equality, for income equalization. So this, I give you three of examples. I give you three of the government do, or our government already did. So after this, maybe you can discuss about what about other country. I mean, like for example, Singapore or Malaysia or in America, how the government program make the redistribution program for the equalization in that country. And after that, you can see what government Indonesia do, or what already government Indonesia's government did and other country did. You can compare, and then you can see the similarity, and you can see what the difference is, and you can make the analysis like why government of Indonesia try to make or try to this policy, and why other government like Singapore, Malaysia make this policy to make the redistribution. So that's my question, and maybe we can discuss it in my class. That's all for this meeting. So I hope that you can learn something new here. And again, yeah, because this only for online course, maybe it's not easy to you to how to say to directly ask me. And yeah, I hope you can still have the beneficial for this video. And if you still have any question, just let me know, and see you um for the next meeting. Thank you.